Welcome to the Echo Oscar Delta podcast, where we talk to Navy EOD techs and hear the stories that they want to share. All ideas, thoughts, and statements are those of the guest and the host of Echo Oscar Delta, and not of Navy EOD or Navy as a whole. No, that's true, and that's actually it's actually a good segue into like the purpose of this podcast.
Yeah.
So for the last few years, you've been really diving into starting up this new business, was it East Coast Foils, right?
Yeah. So we started. East Coast Foils is the recreational side of ECF Gov, and we man, I'm trying to jump back on the story to get on a good line here. I can just tell you the whole story of how it started.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
rather than bouncing all over. So when I retired, I had started up a CBD company, and that was going ish. That kind of shut that down. We were in 13 pharmacies, man, from Pensacola over to Jacksonville, and then COVID really, when gas shot through the roof, people were like, "Do I put CBD in my bodies or gas in my car?" So I was keeping the nose afloat, just barely, man. And last December, I just cut the tie. I was like, "That's enough bleeding out," and so I shut it down, and I've still got everything lined up in case I need to restart it back up. But right now, so I started doing the business thing and learning and failing and all the rest of that, and then I started jumping into I did development, housing development, and started building houses. As of right now, I've got 18 townhomes going up on one division, another division with 30 townhomes lined up behind that, and then we've got another 20 acres after that with 500 units going up on that one afterwards. And so I was like, everything I'm manifesting and writing down is happening. After I've made peace with my maker, man, and I had just I started flowing with life and just living in the now and giving back instead of taking. Then everything started moving, and so my wife now, but let's go down to the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show and fake it, and manifest a Baron yacht. I was always in love with Baron yachts. They make a 65-foot expedition trawler that I will one day have, and everyone can leave me the hell alone. I can shut the door on my fort and sail off and just go. And go cruise around the world at 10 knots and go see all my friends around the world, man. And, drink the good drink and eat the good food, and Denise and I can hang out on our fort, and everyone can leave us the hell alone, right? That was the plan. And actually, I don't know if you see it. That's it up there.
Nice. Yeah.
Like that. So we went down. We made an appointment with Baron, and the tender we took out to the yacht was the smoothest riding rigid hull I've ever been in. Smoothest riding rib I've ever been in. I started snooping around it and looking at it, and it was just built different. It was just, when I first got on it on pier side, it was sturdy, man. When you get on a boat and on a regular V hull and it the weight shifting, not happening on this boat. And I was like, what the crap? Like, just when you first stepped on it was different. And so on the way out, we brought it up, and it was like floating on an air hockey puck. And after how many years, getting the crap beat out of us in small boats, I was like, I gotta get this to the boys. And so I started making calls, man. It became an obsession. It was really just an obsession. It was like, the guys need a boat like this, man. Like, after 5 back surgeries, man. 5 back surgeries, I hurt a lot, and so I started just making phone calls on my back. And funny enough was Denise and I, when we went out to the yacht, and it wasn't that 65, man. They didn't have that there. They had like some crazy ass big boat, man. It was like a 92. and I would never, that I don't even know what you have to make to
Right.
build all those things, right? So, but one of the guys that was with the company East Coast Foils, or what was working alongside them, had shown up, and we sat on the fantail of this yacht for like 2 hours, man, and just talked about the rib and and where it came from and how it was designed, and the technology been around since the 90s. And so um, I got back, and I started calling people, and they're like, this thing has legs, right? And then so I linked up Bering Marine and East Coast Foils, and we started talking with the military and stuff, and then they asked who I worked for. They said, "Who do you work for?" And I was like, "I'll just get a business development deal out of this thing, or business development fee out of it, and I'll just be a 1099 contract or whatever." And so, but I threw it out there and I said, "I want to work for you."
Nice.
I asked them for it, and they said they didn't make. They said, "Well, we don't do commercial hauls, but if you guys want to do it, we'll give you the go ahead." And so they linked me up with my partner, Chris Caprio, who is was in the corporate business world for years, and has a spotlight on the business path that I've never seen before. Man, it's so bright. Just the um, development and the connections and the strategies of how to. So we linked up. We started doing commercial hauls, man, and we we went to Soft Week last year, and we ended up getting we sold a boat to the Air Force, and then it started picking up, and we were like, holy crap! And then at the same time, the port strike went on, and so Bering Yachts. Let me back up there. Bering Yachts is they're out of Antalya, Turkey, and so they're making the commercial hulls there. We bring them in, and then outfit the boat here, so it's 65% American made, and that was 2023, 2024, and then this year became 75% American made. So the port strike happened. The prices for production went up in Turkey by 65%, and Bering told us last year that they were not going to be doing commercial hulls for 2025. And so that was like, it's an emotional, just freaking roller coaster, man. We're like, oh, what the hell do I do now, right? And so we circled the wagons, and we spoke with, we had a good sit down, and we said, we've got to branch out, and so we did. And Bering gave us the blessing, and it was a amicable split, and so we then assembled some of the best boat builders in the world. On laminate schedules, foil technology, and then my my underwriter for real estate is the one of the booster engineers for SpaceX, and so we hauled him in, and we started doing AI technology, and then one of his really good buddies is one of the AI engineers for Tesla, and so. And there's I got to put a disclaimer out. We're not affiliated with Tesla or SpaceX, just the two employees that are 1099 for them, and that's it. Um, we teamed up with those two guys, and we started doing some AI tech on our boats. And, basically, how do we how do we make our boats react to not only the ocean conditions, but how the wind's blowing, and then for that part, for the recreational side, to help assist people while they're driving the boat. You know what I mean? Like not everyone has 20+ years small boat experience, and so but out on the water, anything that helps them. And so like Seakeeper and stuff like that. And so we started working with that integration, and yeah, we teamed up with some guys down in South Florida and started building out of South Florida. And so we're still we're still in the run now, thank God, and we'll be at Soft Week again this year. We've got three military shows and 4 civilian shows to get to this year, and so it's exploding. We're working with some lobbyists right now, some politicians here in Florida, and then we're also some other groups that have helped other companies come back from devastation to success. So some of those groups, and so everyone we're talking to, man, because of the technology we have on the boats and the ability to take away that shock force to personnel and the gas mileage. We're doing double the gas mileage of any other conventional vehicle on less horsepower requirements. So, for instance, 28-foot rib does cruises at, and I just sent you over the actual picture of the boat running and all the rest of that. But our 28-foot rib does about 43 miles an hour cruise and burns about 3 to 3.5 miles a gallon combined with twin 200s. And then our 30-foot fiberglass does I cruise about 46, burning 1.9 to 2 combined on twin 250s. And so to be able just to do that, and then basically the foils do not. I'm trying to because not everyone's going to be able to do visual on this one. They're just listening, right? The foil is actually it's a horizontal foil across the keel of the and it's 2 wind tunnels going down it. So if you basically took a monohull, planed it down to a flat bottom, and then carved 2 wind tunnels down the center of it, and then put a foil forward and aft in there is basically how the boat is. And so as the air gets pushed up into those wind tunnels, it lifts the whole boat out of the water, and the foils then keep it glued to the water. And so the rear foil helps. The rear foil is set so that it helps keep the aft portion of the boat elevated, and then the center foil, which is low forward, right by center weight, is position to keep the boat glued to the surface. So then I can do a 50-mile-an-hour turn, full turn without flipping the boat, without skipping it. There's no wake. It's crazy, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really is. I think it is it can be the future of our hulls. And if you look at some of the bigger companies like Ghostworks and stuff like that, they're already trying to incorporate the same type of tunnel hulls. The Stiletto is up there in Dam Neck, or up there at Little Creek under that M80 Stiletto.
So, with obviously you spend a lot of time on the boats in the military with just the normal V hulls, and then you noticed an immediate difference when you hopped on the hydrofoil style. How is your or what is the I guess military market side of it, right? Knowing what it was like to go out, push pretty far offshore, do scuba dives, do Mark 16 dives, do all of that stuff in the EOD side and the MCM realm, and then for other forces, what are you like? I guess targeting, if you want to put it that way.
I think it's when you look at the manned vessel side, right, and the main thing being the shock force to personnel is when you get out to a dive after an hour transit, you hurt, you're exhausted, right, and then it's time for you to go to work, and then you have another hour transit back after you're exhausted from working, and then it's time to jock your gear up, right, and get ready for the next day. And so if we can take away that shock force to personnel, not only just the exhaustion, right, but the TBI side of it, every little tiny bump you're getting, your brain's getting bashed, right? And so if we can take away that part for the guys, that's the primary focus of it, right? What are we targeting? We're targeting everyone who works on the water. FWC, can you imagine, man, a lifetime of FWC, what your knees feel like? The same as ours, right? So I would love to get my boats out to as many people who just work on the water. One of the guys down in Lauderdale does a sea tow with one of our boats, and he's got a bearing hull, and the tow capacity on it. He sent me a video of him towing a 25-foot V hull back, doing 14 miles an hour, running
Wow.
2.5 miles a gallon on plane. And so the ability to come back, man, and not get crappy out of you. And then I remember at least 2 occasions where we had a diver casualty and had to and then you got the guy on the backboard with O2, and do you punch it and beat the crap out of him on the backboard and kill him, or do you go slow enough to not beat him up, but then you kill him on time? So which one's which, man? And then try to run an IV into him, or if you need to, and it's tough to do that crap. Um, so I think when you look at all the benefits of what the hull actually provides. And man, it's almost a no brainer, man. My wife made us sell our B hull after we got this.
Nice.
And so we had an Everglades, and we're like that. We're done with it. So yeah, it's an absolutely amazing boat, and so to be able to just target that, you know what I mean, to anyone who hurts and could use the benefit of that. And then just on the admin side for fuel consumption, for maintenance, less maintenance because you're pushing way less force through the water, you know what I mean? So you can run smaller engines, they don't run as hot. You can run them at lower RPMs while achieving higher speeds. So your maintenance becomes a lot less. There's just the benefits keep coming, right? And so what are what are the detractors from it, man? It's a different hull. That's really like the only thing I can see it different, right? And so a lot of people are like, oh, it's different, smash it, but the technology's there, like crap, like when you get on it and ride. Are you going to be down to Soft Week this year?
No, because Soft Week is first week of May. No, I'm actually flying out to LA, and David Lyman is going to try to do the bomb suit marathon.
Oh, that's right.
For the Orange County Marathon, so I'm going to be out there. But yeah, yeah, it'll be cool on my side. It'll be miserable on his, but
Yeah, no,
it'll be awesome to watch.
I love that, man. Well, no, I was going to say, I got to get you out on the boat because it is, man. It's kind of like just to experience it. The 2 feelings you get is like the first one's like, what the fuck is this, right? Because you're like floating on an air hockey puck that will not leave the surface, and I've tried to make it leave the surface and it won't. And the second one is like, why didn't we have this before? It just after a week of test rides, I can still walk. After a day on a V hull, man, I'm laid up for I'm laid up for 2 days afterwards trying to put everything back together. But yeah, and so that's kind of where we're at, man. We have an absolute insane focus, and everything's coming to fruition as we move forward. And there's no real roadblocks. There's just things that appear we have to go around.
Nice. What's the draft on it?
So on that 28, it's a foot, 1.8 feet. But then when it's running, it's like your props in water, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so if you get on the website and actually look at it, we've got video of it running, and you can actually see how it comes out of the water, and the tunnel hull as they catch air and stuff, and it's just it's an absolutely the feeling when people get on there to watch them the first time, you're like, oh, there it is again,
Yeah, that's cool. You talked about a couple things. Obviously, the hull is like the the main building piece for for the system, right? The main portion that reduces the shock. But I think you had mentioned a couple other pieces on it. The AI portion, how I imagine that, and obviously correct me if I'm wrong, is using AI to like real time assess the conditions, and you talk to like the wind. So instead of you having to set trim tabs manually to counter, the wind or the current or whatever, it's reading all that and doing all that for you.
Right. So that's on just the rudimentary side, and then on the advanced side, for defense capabilities and military and stuff like that, you can imagine acting as like a bee swarm, right? How bees communicate and how they react to whoever's attacking them, and they all work as one big body. Basically, there's a million little ones working as one large organism. So that's what we're working on right now. And so if you can imagine, 600 of these things going out towards an enemy, acting like a swarm and talking together, and all autonomous, like user pushes a button saying go. What I imagine is, remember the old Choose Your Own Adventure books
Yeah.
back in the day, where it's like, we're going to go to page whatever. And so really, it's just like I imagine a user interface on an iPad saying, "What would you like to do?" And and you go or no go, and then everything is released and does autonomously. So we're actually we're teaming up with some defense contractors on that side, because they are also working on that. They have a little more money than we do, and so we're teaming up, but they also don't have the boats. And so on collaboration that way, it works out perfectly. And so there are a couple guys right now that we're just looking up each other's skirts and see if we want to jump in bed together. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
For the seating, have you guys done anything with that, and how like a live operator, another method?
And so we teamed up with Ullman Seats. I think Ullman's on most of the boats, to be honest, already. If not, but it's a Swedish company. They have a U.S. I want to say it's a U.S. company or a factory here also to meet the compliance. So we're using them, but when you use the Ullman Seats and our boat, there's nothing, man. It is like it's like air ride.
Yeah.
and Denise actually, she's like on our 30. She goes, our 30 rides like an old 72 Eldorado down the freeway. It just floats, man. And so that's cool. Really, she's like, yeah, just kind of just floats up and down a little bit, and that's about how it rides. And that's up to like 3 to 4 foot seas will do that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll definitely have to get down there, because I've ridden on. We got our 11 meters have those shock seats and whatnot, and that's cool. But obviously, it's the V hull, and it still beats you. And it always reminds me of like going out with the SEAL teams, right? And like when you're going to do a VBSS and you're standing on the back while the SWIC dudes are on the and like you're standing on the back hooked in, just standing there eating it for however long it takes to do the stock and all that, and then you're just looking jealously at all the SWIC dudes sitting in the seats, having that nice cushioned ride. But then imagining like you talking about the just the fact that the hull smooths out the ride so much more. That's gotta be a cool feeling.
Coming down off step, I can come from 50 miles an hour straight into neutral, and it just floats down. It doesn't like the minute you do that on a V hull, everyone's getting thrown to the front. It just doesn't happen. The maneuverability is just crazy. Man, I've never seen a boat like it, and that's what brought me back in this world. And that's where I was like, I got to push the I believe button and start doing this. And so the main goal was to get a boat to the guys so they don't feel like we do when they retire. And then the second part of the company is We are taking 10% of all of our proceeds. We have a 501 charity already set up. All 10%, all that goes in there, and we are end user support for Pensoft, for EOD Warrior Foundation, Navy SEAL Foundation, and Green Beret Foundation. And so I've said it before. It's part of almost a pitch, right? But it is, man. If your husband's on deployment and your car shits the bed, I want to send Uber to you and go take you to your new car and no questions asked. I want to take care of all my bros who aren't here anymore. I want to take care of their families, man. Those guys paid the price, you know what I mean? And so why can't I freaking do this? Because I've been blessed. I've been blessed with where my life's going and what I've been given and the opportunity to watch that ball of fire raise up, every day. And so what am I giving back? And
That's awesome,
man. And that's really, I think retirement affords you a safety net where you can throw caution to the wind sometimes. And being able to do that has been a breath of fresh air. When you finally the fruits of your labor have come to a certain point, and then you can just live on those fruits and start throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks, really. and man, sometimes you'd be surprised with what sticks.
Yeah.
Amazon has a standing rule that they don't say no to ideas, and if they say no, I think it's like a 2-page dissertation or something they have to write out explaining why they're saying no to the idea, right? And so I like that a lot, and basically it's every time is someone's like, hey, what about this? And instead of saying no, we can't talk to them, right? We can't talk to the competition. Are they competition, man? I don't know. We're both trying to do the same thing, and that's protect our country and protect the people who protect the country, right? So why can't we collaborate? And I think the way, especially in real estate, man, I found that in real estate that the collaboration really helps out. Everyone, the fruits of labor come together much more when you have a team, right? And we see it in D, we see it in anything else. And so when you have a bunch of other people working towards the same goal, man, you don't have competition anymore. You just have a whole shitload of collaboration. And so let's get some both boys, and let's make sure people don't feel beat up, and let's take care of the guys who get bent over the barrel the most. I would love to write freaking $100,000 checks to freaking to every organization I can, every chance I get. And so, man, that's really my goal. The rest of it's all just whatever comes out of it after is gravy. You know what I mean? Like it's really my passion right now, and something I'm so driven on. I'm getting up at 3 a.m. to go do it, and going to bed at 10 p.m. and I'm fucking tired, but yeah, it's good, man.
You see those end results, that tiredness is worth it.
It is, and spread out in between that, I spend an insane amount of time with my kids. I'm able to do all this shit remotely, and I want to make sure my kids know that they're around the business all the time. I want them to absorb it. It's funny, they've got some freaking rackets going on at school. They're doing the bigger, better. And so they're little pitch people. You know what I mean? They got a pitch, and they know how to sell stuff, and they've got little and they don't even understand what they're doing yet. But
that's cool. You said right now you're down in South Florida, but do you have plans to move it up closer to you?
Yeah, right now, so we're building. I'm personally, I live in Panama City Beach still, but we're building out of South Florida. I'm working with Bay County right now to we're trying to find a factory location for here, for Bay County, and we teamed up with a lot of the local boat builders here too. There's a couple other guys. So I was like, that's why I went to Sea Odd, right? Was so I could help Haney and these guys write their curriculum to meet us. And so when these kids get out of the Marine program, we're not losing them to Georgia or Mississippi or The other boat builder guys, we can keep them here in Bay County, and we can make Bay County the premier marine location again in the Gulf Coast. And so um, where the cogs of the wheel line up is on the housing development side. I can now build affordable housing for my guys who work here, right? And so if I can build a factory and bring 100 jobs in here, man, there's 100 kids that aren't going to go to school hungry, right? And if I can build affordable housing for those guys, I'm not pushing up north of I-10, and they're not going to show up late for work. And then mom was not going to be mad because I had to fire them because this time this week they showed up late for work because I have a factory here in Bay County and they can't afford a place here, right? And so if I can build affordable housing and either hold the note for them and do rent to own, work for the company, man, and here's your house, man, for just rent to own it, and at the end it's yours. I can hold the note or however it works, right? But I want to make sure that in true DoD form that our guys are taken care of. Because that's the only way you ever become successful is by taking care of the people who take care of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the people will work for, obviously not saying you're paying less, but people will be willing to work for a little bit less if they know they're getting taken care of. If when they bring up an idea, it's not automatically like, why are you in my office? Get out there. Start wiring something, If you're actually listening to the dudes, if they feel like management actually cares and helps and is on their side, man, you know,
You'd be surprised, man. Just that what you just said there, right? We did that with all the service reps, man. We went to all the service reps and said, "Hey, what do you hate the most about working on boats?" Electricians. "Hey, mechanics, what do you hate the most about working on boats?" And then we fixed that. They're like, "I hate chasing wires and not having enough freaking access panels to get into stuff." Fixed. "I hate, fill in the blank." Fixed, man. Let's make everything freaking absolutely accessible. "I hate boats that are wet." "I hate boats that are wet, man." Fixed. And so, um, how do we make the process better? And how can we adjust it? Um, how can I best take care of the guys, man? That's really my ultimate goal um, is someone gave me a chance and I took advantage of it. And if I can give a bunch of other people a chance, man, it just goes on, it pays it forward.
yeah,
And I can die and turn into a mushroom or whatever the hell happens, and be square with it, man. When I'm a maker, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I can stand up and say at least towards the end, I started building again instead of just destroying shit.
yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now I know Soft Week is coming up because you'd mentioned that, right? And you guys are going to be out there. If somebody wants to come out and take a look at you guys out there,
We're at Slip
what should they do?
25 at the Tampa Convention Center, and I'm not even sure you have to actually go get tickets to get into the event to do that. But if you want to sign up for a test demo, it is www.ecfgov.com, and that's our commercial site. And so we have our sign up on there, and we're running test rides Monday afternoon, May 8th through that Thursday, which is I may be backwards on these dates. Hold on, hear me out.
Yeah.
May 5th through 8th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Um, and then are you doing any like outside of Soft Week? Are you doing anything like especially for people that know you, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, maybe not just the random person out of somewhere, but for dudes that know you, can they reach out and
100%,
potentially?
man. Anytime. I've got a 30-foot boat here in Panama City Beach, so anyone who wants to hit me up on that. I also have a T28-foot ribs down in Melbourne Beach, Florida. So we can if you're down in that area, the South Florida, the Tampa, Orlando, South Florida area, you can get over to Melbourne Beach. Then we can set that up also. And then what else are we doing? We're doing a lot of. I just teamed up with Joe Theodoro who's a retired diver. He's running Warrior Reef Project. Him and his wife Gretchen, and so we're going to support them with boats. We've got a lionfish tournament coming up in June 6th out of Point South Marina here in Bay Point in Panama City Beach, and so we're going to support the that tournament, and then there's some burials at sea for guys who are getting put in the reefs. And so we're going to support that stuff for the Army divers. But anything, and then man, any other events? We're going to be at the multi-agency craft conference in July up in Virginia Beach, and then we'll also be at the International Workboat Show in New Orleans. That I believe is October of this year.
Okay. Nice. So you guys got a lot going on.
We do. We're busy, but it's a good busy, and it's an exciting busy, and it's boat rides with the bros, and it's really us just being 8-year-old kids. And I was showing you the model earlier on before we started, and I sit here with my CAD programs and my 3D printer, and I'm like, what does this do? And then we make it, and so Denise blames me for being a 8-year-old boy making models all day long. I'm like, but what was that stupid sub that went down with all the billionaires? Like that's how my models used to look back in the day, right? Remember you snap them out of plastic and glue them together, and it looked like Ocean Gate, like Coast.
Yep.
Like, oh, I didn't know F-18s are supposed to look like that. But yeah, 3D printers make it a lot easier nowadays.
Yeah.
You don't have to be good at anything.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but no, that's really that's kind of the gist of it, man. We've been talking with some guys up in New York and the fire departments up there for their water response, especially after this helicopter went down. We're in communication after that, and then we've got some Navy stuff going on, and some SOCOM stuff going on, and some air stuff going on, some Air Force stuff, and I think someone said it. I can't remember who it was, so I can't give the proper quote out. But it's when the path disappears in front of you, you're exactly where you're supposed to be in life, right? I have no fucking idea what's going to happen tomorrow, man. I don't know. I'm just going to enjoy the sweetness of the strawberry and not fight life anymore, man.
That's awesome. That sounds like a good place to be.
Yeah. And so how did this happen, man? It's masterboard, dude. I just saw this opportunity and acted on it. And that's really what matters. And I remember when I was a young slick bomb chief and I just come out of school, man. This is very vivid in my head. And we were training down at the elephant cages in San Diego. Brian Leighton was an R&T. And there was an IED down the road. And we showed up on X, and there was an ambush. And so we got in the truck and punched it and hit a secondary. And he indexed. And he said, he goes, that was a fuck you drill. He goes, and I did it on purpose. He goes, but you did it action, and that's all that mattered. And that's all that really matters, man, is the action part, right? Or do you just sit there and get shot at? You know what I mean? Like, what do you do in a situation like that? You had to do something, right? And so that was, I thank you, Brian, if you're listening to that one, or to listen to this. I still remember that lesson. Very vividly, actually. Get emotional about that.
Yeah.
Must be low on my testosterone this month. So no, man, it's just it is all these lessons throughout EOD and life in general, and then acting on those lessons. You know, if you don't act on your lessons, man, did you really learn it? You know, if you don't change something from it or learn something from it, did you really even learn it? So that's just kind of just keep putting one step forward, and eventually, man, you'll get there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's that axe in the tree. Like you can go fucking try and chop down a tree at once and you're exhausted, right? But just swing it once a day, man. That tree's gonna fall eventually. You know? So that's kind of how it is. It's just don't fight the life and flow with it. just keep everything's a master board, and that's kind of how I've broken it out. And so far, so good.
Yeah. I I love that. It's solid advice, a good lesson that you got taught early on, and then you know, passing that on. That to make something happen, you just have to start making things happen.
To be fair, that lesson Brian taught me was in 2005 or six, 2006, and it really didn't click in my head. Uh, it didn't really click in my head. And I'd been doing it the whole time, but it really didn't click in my head probably until a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You know,
There are. I'm glad you actually said that, because there are so many things that, like, you have to be like, you have a reason for why you're gonna set up a drill or make a certain action as the you know a management in a company or whatever, right? And you have to be willing to know that probably most people are just going to be like, okay, I guess that's what we're doing now. And maybe 5 years down the road, a couple months down the road, 30 years down the road, something else is going to click. And then they're going to be like, okay, that's why. And you don't have to do it, because I think sometimes we get to, like, we make a decision or we teach a lesson, and they have to learn it right now. Everything that I wanted them to learn out of this, like, just be willing to provide that lesson and allow people to learn what they're going to out of it at the time they're gonna. I like it.
yeah, no, and just step back, man. Like when something happens, be like, what is it? What am I being taught here, man?
Yeah.
You know, step back. It's the same thing. You show up on scene, you show up at your CP, right? You just run down there. You're just like, what's going on here? You assess the whole situation, you know, and then be like, maybe this is a lesson I'm supposed to be learning right now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very eye opening as we get older and older, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, it's I don't know if we ever get it. You know, it just the learning and and I think also being tired helps you, man, a lot. Being tired helps you with peace, where you're like,
Yeah.
I don't have the energy to fight with you.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't. I've been around fighting for 20 plus years, and I'm tired of fighting. I would prefer to have none of it. And actually, when my kids fight, they get kicked out of the house. They can go fight outside somewhere else, man. Go enjoy it. Wail on each other. Just don't do it around me.
Yeah.
But you're not welcome in my house when you fight. And so really, that stopped the fighting in our house. The kids were like, I don't want to get kicked outside. So yeah, I'm just like, not around here, guys. It's not, that's another big thing, is that there's no voice raising in our house. There's none of that. Just, it's all talking, man, because, man, they're just little adults. They probably know more about life than they get it, because they're more grounded with life than we are. We've distanced ourselves so much with these fucking walls and this floor and these clothes and this mindset of where we're supposed to be and all the rest of that. And kids don't have that shit. We have to teach them all that crap.
Yeah.
So man, if you just open up your ears and just ask them what they need the most, and give it to them, man. You're the best damn leader that they could possibly ever ask for.
Dude, I like it.
Yeah.
I appreciate you reaching out and sharing about East Coast Foils, and hopefully some dudes will reach out and schedule some test rides. And
yeah, Jaron, I appreciate you, man. No, it really is. There's a lot of guys in the EOD community doing amazing things and giving back, and I think man, those guys really they're flying under the radar, right? And probably by design. But it is. I think those guys need to be championed, man. There is a lot of people out there doing some amazing things for the community, and to promote that and show the guys that there's resources for everything, right? There's guys doing so much stuff out there that there's resources. There's no reason an EOD guy should have to go outside the EOD community for anything it needs, really. We've got EOD guys freaking raising beef to building boats to making hats to whatever, man. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many entrepreneurs in our community that I think that they definitely need a clap on the back, man. Those guys are definitely giving back their community.
yeah. Actually, since you mentioned that, I'll just throw a plug. If anybody's out there that was EOD Tech and and has something that they got into, a business they got into, and they want to come on the podcast, just reach out to me. You can either email me, Echo Oscar Delta Mark 2 at gmail.com, or the Instagrams and whatnot. Just reach out. We can plug you on here and yeah, help build that network. That's what I see. That's what, when I started this, I thought that's kind of a potential void I can fill, is like, I'm not the dude doing the thing, but maybe I can connect a couple people and then they can do some things, and like being a connector. That's really all I want out of this. So
There's your thing, man. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. And you're doing it. So man, pour your passion into what the thing is, right? And shit, there might be another thing that shows up that you don't even have an idea yet. You know, it could be right around the corner, bro. Like you just, when that pony shows up, man, just jump on a pony, bro. If the pony bucks you off, it's okay. You're going to be right back at the same fucking spot you were anyways. So at least you jumped on a pony. It might ride you just to right where you need to go.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So, dude, much love, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thanks, bro.
That's it. Thank you for listening to the Echo Oscar Delta podcast, where we talk to Navy EOD techs and hear the stories that they want to share.